Well, Kurt, as expected, the plane went together without any hitch. Their basic installation as far as the tail feathers, just like we showed at the beginning, the wing rubber bands on, were no glitches at all. It all went together according to plan. As far as the flying, did it do what you expected?
Yeah, it was a real gentle trainer plane, very docile. The battery that's included, though, is a little 300 milliamps, very small and very light. And I had a difficult time getting the CG set to where I wanted it, even with that battery all the way forward. I don't want to add weight, so we fortunately had at our disposal a few different size batteries. So we used some larger ones, 430, I think, milliamp, and a 700 and some milliamp. The 700 some milliamp was perfect. It was 750, I think.
Yeah.
And we put it almost all the way forward on the nose, and the balance was nice. It was a little bit nose heavy. So no nose heavy. It was nose balanced forward. So very docile in the air, very predictable. With anything smaller, any smaller battery, it just wanted to climb all the time. It's constantly wanting to climb. We trimmed down, you let off the throttle, and the thing would just level out. So,
well, one thing I've noticed with slow flyers in particular, if they're a tad bit tail heavy, you can see it immediately. Unlike a larger conventional plane, when it's tail heavy, usually it's a handful. First thing you want to do is try to get it on the ground. You can fly a slow flyer, a little tail heavy, but you can
just
see
drag the rear all the time.
You can see it just constantly like wagging the bag, you know, and you can feel it. So the heavier battery definitely made an improvement on the flight characteristic, a little more enjoyable to fly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So let's go ahead and get grading this.
All right.
All right, on our 5-point model characteristics, we've got built as advertised. We put that as a 5. I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
Very basic components, very easy to put together. Finish, we've got a 3.5 out of 5. The reason I think we've got that, it's a foam. It's a foam plane. It's susceptible to hanger rash.
Yeah.
Transporting, you're going to get some rash. Usually, most foam planes, you're going to see the seam lines. But for a foamy, it's a nice looking plane.
Yeah,
I mean,
paint job's nice
down.
And the decals look good. So.
It looks real good.
Yeah.
Power, we've got 4.5 out of 5. I think it's aptly powered. Do you agree?
Perfectly powered for the size of model it is.
Okay. Ground handling, we gave it a 4. We've noticed that you're going to find yourself getting a lot of this on the runway. If you put a little bit too much rudder input on rollout, or when you're landing, you're going to notice it gets a little tippy. Stands a little tall.
Yeah, any breeze at all. It'll handle slight breeze, no problem, but any breeze at all makes it want to tip up on its wingtips when you're going around and you're ground taxiing. So as you move crosswind, it immediately tips up on its side if there's any kind of breeze. So it's a little bit jumpy, but not bad. Very narrow landing gear.
Durability, we gave it a 4 out of 5. Now, we'll mention something with the durability, and one of the reasons, not so much a reason why we graded it at a 4, we had a servo failure on this particular model during flight.
Yeah, rudder servo failed on it.
We're doing some lazy barrel rolls, and when the rudder got slammed to one side, the rudder just, the servo just failed, it jammed. It came down. Now, it came down, but you see what kind of shape the plane
came down in a descending spiral, and it came in and hit wingtip first. So it hit pretty hard, but there's not a whole lot of mass there.
So what it did was it sort of pushed the front carbon tube, pushed it forward in the windshield, split each side of the foam a little bit. Nothing major, easy to repair.
Yep.
But for durability, yes, it will get damaged. There's not much inertia here, but you can damage it. So
now on this foam, this is that expanded polyolefin type foam on the main body and the fuselage. It's more of a EPP foam on the wing. So you want to use foam safe CA on the wing if you have to do any repairs at all. Same thing with the vertical and horizontal stabilizer. But on the actual fuselage proper, this is an expanded polyolefin, which means it can handle standard CA, regular CA, not foam safe CA. In fact, foam safe CA has a difficult time bonding to this type of foam. So you'll make sure if you do any repairs to the main fuselage, use that standard CA, and it'll bond really well for you.
But the plane shows no damage at this point. It was easily repairable, which makes it nice for beginners, and credit to the plane itself.
Yep.
Flight is advertised. Got a 4.5 out of 5.
Absolutely. It's a nice docile trainer. It's easy. It's listed as an indoor-outdoor, so it's very light, very susceptible to any kind of breezes. So it can get a little bit, it can get tossed around a little more than what you probably anticipate with some of your outdoor flying. But it handles very predictably.
Well, I've got some other slow flyers that are foam, and I've noticed this thing handled what little bit of breeze we did have out there much better than mine that I'm flying. I was impressed with that. Flight time on this particular battery that came with the plane, as Kurt mentioned earlier, 300. We gave it a flight time very short.
It had 5 minutes or less in the flight time.
Yeah, we rated it 3 out of 5.
And when it noses over, it's only 300 milliamp. It goes down fast. So we were going through a loop, I think, actually, a real gentle loop, and the engine cut out at the top of the loop. So we knew that it was end of the flight time. Now, with that said, it glides so easy.
Oh, yeah.
You kill the throttle. In fact, I think in the flight video, one of the landings, you see the prop just slowly turning.
Yeah.
That's throttle off, coming in, and it just glides beautifully.
Yeah.
So, but very short flight time at 300 milliamp. We had better flight times at the 430 milliamp. The 750 was perfect.
Yeah.
That was nice, long flight times, 10 minutes plus, and it handled best. So.
I think that's where the balance was the best, too.
Yep.
We just needed extra weight in the nose. Okay, field time. By the way, we gave 3 out of 5 on the flight time. Field size, we've got small gymnasium park. You can fly it anywhere, really.
Yeah, you can. It's going to be a baseball field, perfect for a baseball field. Any your local park, it's a perfect park flyer. As far as indoor, it's going to be a gymnasium. You can fly this around in a gymnasium or auditorium.
Very easily. So. Yep. Portability, we gave it 4.5 out of 5. It speaks for itself. The wing comes off very easily with a couple of rubber bands.
Yep.
Boom, you put it in your vehicle and go. Skill level, we've got it marked as beginner, definitely a beginner plane.
Absolutely.
I don't see any reason why somebody who's maybe got a little bit of stick time with some of the small backyard flyers, the small micros, could easily get into this and be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep, it's a great beginner plane. Well, if you'd like to see the full review of the FlyLite RxR, you can go to our website at 2bfly.com and check under the reviews. If you have any questions that remain unanswered, you can click on the icon in the lower left corner of the screen that says Ask 2 and send us a message. I'm Kurt Gornick of Two Brothers Hobby.
And I'm Rob Gornick.
Thanks for joining us.